fallout, smoke, women crying for their sons because their sons are not, Romans killing riotous groups that are rising up. Free Judea, free our people, autonomy for Israel. You had Herod, an Edomite, and his dynasty. Herod's ruling, killing any potential threat, any potential Messiah. Then you had the Pharisees and the Sadducees that we learn from Josephus are not Jews by birth. No.
Brothers and sisters, they are there. We are not lost. We are scattered. We are original Hebrew.
Let's go! All praises be to the Most High God. Yeah, I say it.
I was opportune to meet my grandparents, whom from childhood had always made us to understand that we are one of the lost tribes of Israel. Okay. So from my grandmother.
Right. Now look at these. Yeah, I'm telling you, I gotta show y'all. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Just look for yourself. And this is the creme de la creme. All praises be to the Most High, y'all. Everything we've been through, y'all, the Most High is going to retribute it on all the nations that have had a hand in the oppression of his apple, the apple of his eye, his chosen people, his beloved, his fervent lover, his only begotten. They're going to have their part in the lake of fire. You see them tormented by some kind of creature. I don't even know what that even is, y'all. Judgment in chains. He that led into captivity shall go into captivity. All praise to the Most High, y'all. It said, thou that dwells in the clefts of the rock. Whoa. I know a lot of y'all know about the Caucasus Mountains. Let's just let the word speak. Let's go to verse 4. Though you exalt yourself as the eagle, and though you set thy nest among the stars.
What's up, Zion Dynasty? This is your favorite dreaded Israelite, the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. JB Zion. Y'all, welcome back to the channel, family. Welcome back to Zion Dynasty, where yours truly, I'm back in the fringed up flesh, about to hit y'all with another banger. All glory, honor, dominion, and power to the Most High Yah, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. So family, y'all, welcome back to the channel, family. We're gonna jump back into this thing. I have a lot slated for you guys. Y'all go ahead and like this video up, comment, share, subscribe, share with as many people as you know. We got a lot going on, family. Your boy's jumping back into it, right? And I want to kind of do a lot of different things, y'all, to just build the community back up, get the family back hype, family. Like one of those things, this coming up Shabbat, we're gonna do another round of the Sefer giveaways. So you guys, all you got to do to be eligible, just subscribe. And comment that you want one, turn post notifications on, and that kind of thing. So when we do those announcements, or that announcement is coming up Shabbat, this Friday evening, when we announce those winners, I think I'm gonna do 2 or 3 winners, just like we kind of did last time. And I'm just gonna get you guys to email me after I announce the winners. You guys email me so we can chat. I can get your shipping address. I'll order those off of Sefernet, and I'll send them right to you, just like we did with Brother Valentine, and it was 2 other winners, I cannot remember, on that first round of giveaway. So I'll just get your shipping address, I'll go to Sefernet, boom, 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 and send that out to you. So we're going to do that this coming up Shabbat. So y'all comment if you are interested in a Sefer. Also, I haven't forgot, if y'all want an ancestry, African ancestry kit giveaway, if y'all want me to do something like that, to switch it up, y'all comment that, just share your ideas, any topics, any news articles you guys find, y'all put that in the comments. Anything you want me to deal with, y'all comment that, or you can email me at imjbzion at gmail.com. So family, as you guys saw, this is gonna be, we're gonna have a conversation on this video, right? I got a lot of other stuff slated in terms of a lot of fun stuff, a lot of reactions. I have seen note, me and Shawnee D have seen note. I do plan on doing an explanation. That's probably going to be tomorrow's video, and I'm going to break that thing down. Y'all might think I'm a nerd, but we're going to go into Nope hard, right? Now, it's different from Get Out and Us, right, in terms of the black element, but there is a heavy spiritual element in Nope, and I'm going to do an explanation on that tomorrow. Also, you guys asked for it, and I'm going to do it. I saw the comments about an in-depth breakdown of eschatology, end times, the king of the north, Russia, king of the south, the southern bloc in Africa, the Middle East, when you get into the King of the East and Moab and NATO and the European Union, I'm going to go into an in-depth breakdown using Dr. Windsor. Dr. Windsor is the author of From Babylon to Timbuktu. In that book, he goes through all the Hebraic elements of the Moors, the Songhai Mali empires, those Sephardic Israelites, the Yoruba, B'nai Ephraim. This author that talked about in 70 CE that over 1 million Israelites fled out of the land of Judea and went into Africa. This Dr. Windsor, in his book, The Valley of the Dry Bones, does a masterful roadmap of how each one of these end-time nations, Gog, Magog, Moab, NATO, Esau, Edom, and Israel, are all playing a crucial role, and he gives a timeline for the next events that we're living in those last days. So I'm going to do a breakdown on that as well. The note reaction, I'm going to Marvel a little bit, go back to history. There's a lot of things, Bible study, scriptures, the book of Jasher, Apocrypha, Mormon, the seal portion. There's a lot we got going on, family, and I'm trying to just organize this stuff for you guys, manage all the time, break down the different segments, split stuff up into series if that works. So, but on this video, we're going to have a discussion. It's going to kind of piggyback off the last lesson. You guys saw me talking a lot about unity. And off the rip, I just want to say this. Shout out to every Israelite leader that is laboring to teach our people and to restore our community. Every one of them. And not just Israel. And I know a lot of y'all might not agree with this, but your Dane Callaways and a lot of these that are laboring to restore esteem, teach our history, teach our DNA or archaeology, all of you all, shout out to the elders, shout out to Big Judah, shout out to Elder Iuic, shout out to Teo Ministries, shout out to Pastor Kelly, shout out to B'nai Israel, shout out to the camps, shout out to Bishop Nathaniel, IUIC. Family, we got to come together, and this is going to be the heartbeat of this message tonight. We're going to use Apostle Gino Jennings and what has recently happened with the church blitz. I know a lot of y'all heard me bring that up in the last couple of videos. He was offered to press charges on IUIC for them doing their church blitz on his property, which is really public property, but he's going to go into how he would have been able to do that, seeing how he had Christian church ministry going on during the time of them out there protesting and handing out flyers. We're going to have a good conversation, family, about Israelite unity. And when I say Israelite unity, I mean black people, right? I don't subscribe to the term black to all my Moors and all my Israelites. A lot of my Moorish brothers in Israel, y'all, we're not black, we're not a color. I know that. But just so our people that are tuning in that don't know, so-called black people, so-called African Americans, and so-called descendants of the diaspora, can we really come together, family? There's so many moving parts, right? There's so many FBI, you got COINTELPRO, you got secret agents, not just that, but you have differences of opinions within our community, right? And some of that is instigated. We see that J. Edgar Hoover fueled a lot of the Black Panther, the Young Lords, their beef. A lot of that was instigated by Esau. Divide and conquer, the oldest trick in the book, family. Esau has not reinvented the wheel. The same tactic of, well, I'm going to have y'all say they're Moors. I'm going to have y'all say they're Israel. Have them say we're natives, right? That's why y'all see on my channel, I know a lot of the stuff that I do might get misinterpreted, but the purpose of me connecting the Moors with our people, there is a viable historical truth, evidence, line of reasoning that substantiates that. Y'all see me go into Light and Truth, if I can find it on my bookshelf. Light and Truth, that clearly said that the Israelites were called Moors. Now, I don't know if I really showed that passage and broke it down in detail. For the sake of time, let me try to hurry up and get that up, and then we're going to go into the lesson, family. Let's see if I can find it. The Moors. 339. I'm almost there. I got the book in front of me, y'all. On page 339, and I'm going to show y'all something. It's really on, I think, on page 340, that next page. Let me pull it up. So, I showed you guys this on a previous video. Let me see if I can get it up there. How the word Negro, Moor, you see that definition of Moor? It says marsh, fin, Negro, because the word Negro is Spanish in origin. Google it on a Webster's dictionary. I will pull it up, but on Webster's it tells you around 1555 is when that word became prominent, during the same time that the Inquisition was going on, and Spain and Portugal banished the Sephardic Israelites out of Spain, these Moors.
But we see right here, a lot of us know this history, but we think Moor and the Jews were different in Spain. Now right here we see that it says that the Moors were Negroes. But not just that, family. Let me go to that next page that I told you guys. Now this might blow y'all mind if you hadn't seen this before. It's been a minute since I put these books up. Now it goes into Mangroon is an all-black, full-blooded Negro. Sambo is 3/4. Like if somebody that's mixed gets with a black woman, you know, mulatto is if your dad's black, your mom's white, that kind of thing. Like Marcus Rogers, quadroon. So it goes through all of that. Now let's go down. Micah, if y'all see that paragraph with Micah the Mooristite, a prophet of the Moors. Wait a second, Micah, this can't be the Israelites. Prophesied in the days of Hezekiah, king of Judah, and spoke to all the people of Judah, the Moors. Wait, let me put it back up. I moved it too fast. Spake to all the people of Judah, the Moors. There was no difference between the Jews and Moors of Spain that they teach us. So why do I go through stuff like that? A lot of y'all be like, why does that matter if we're Moors or Israelites? This is to the people that don't know the history. Esau has divided and conquered us. When you look at the word denomination, right? If you swap the N and the M, it's a demon. Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And the way he does that is by causing internal strife, bickering between one another. I just got to call it for what it is, family. When we look at the Garden of Eden in the first book of the Holy Scriptures, we see that first Satan got Eve to question what the Most High told her. That's Satan's ultimate goal, is to go in and create and sow seeds of discord, family. So what Esau does, he said, let me give the Moors history. Let me give the natives that there were some Negroes already in America. Let me give y'all that history. Let me give Israel the overall Judeo-Scriptures heritage, right? And I'm going to have y'all beef one towards another instead of being like, wait a second. We can connect the Moors that were in the Americas, and the Moors were ethnically Israelites. Some practice Islam, some practice... Wait, we can come together. So the Nation of Islam shouldn't be separate from the Moors, shouldn't be separate from the Israelites. A lot of y'all don't agree with this. A lot of y'all think, oh no, we shouldn't be trying to strive to find our commonalities. No, let them do what they gonna do. They doing it the wrong way. We doing it the right way. Family, life doesn't work like that. There is no, that's why they came up with 50 Shades of Grey. There is truth in between. You have some person that has one puzzle piece, another group has another puzzle piece. Rarely are you gonna find a group that's utterly just straight out lying, family, right? What's going on? Esau gives each component a puzzle piece, and because they know they have truth or are part of it, they fight each other. Now let's deal with we're gonna deal with Apostle Gino Jennings, because he's gonna go into this beautifully with what happened with the church blitz. Now, y'all keep unity in mind. And also keep in mind how difficult it has been for our people to do this. A lot of this being instigated by white supremacy, and not just white people. It's not about color. I'm just telling y'all, because there are some of our own people that don't really want this to happen. But now let's listen to Gino Jennings. I'm gonna go ahead and get it started so we can break that thing down as a family. Now, let's check this out. Let me make sure my volume's up. All right, how much time I got? All right, let's get it.
Somebody contact the authorities. When the black Hebrew Israelites came here at our campus, and I was here early because I had business to attend to, and the authorities reached out to me. Captain talked to me and introduced himself and told me that he wouldn't tell me who reached out to him. It could have been neighbors, could have been folks in church. I asked him, well, who reached out to you? He said, we can't give out that information. He said, well, we were reached. He said, we were even told to go on YouTube if we want to see the evidence of what happened. He said, Pastor Jennings, we went on YouTube.
So, family, I don't even know if Pastor Jennings knew that they was outside his church, because it seems like one of the members or somebody in the community. He has a lot of older seniors within our community, and I give all honor to our elders. And a lot of them don't play some of this Mickey Mouse stuff. When they're loyal to a church or our community, they'll call the cops and be like,
our pastor's being under attack. So it seems like he didn't necessarily know that they had visited his church. I know a lot of Israel, y'all gonna be like, no, JB, he knew they was out there. And I believe he might have known. And the reason I say that is because this was a well televised church blitz campaign, right? They went to Creflo's church. This was on the news. This was on CNN. A big deal. Marcus Rogers dealt with it, right? And Marcus Rogers' video, y'all check that video out. He was talking about the Israelites outside of Pastor Jennings' church. So whether or not he knew or not, that's neither here nor there. I do believe that it was strategic for him not to sit down with them, but let's keep watching.
We saw what happened. Do you want to press charges? I said, on what ground? They was on the sidewalk. We don't own the sidewalk. He said, you're right. But this is where they made a legal mistake. You were actually having worship. And they violated law by disturbing religious worship.
I'm sorry about that, man.
And they violated law by disturbing religious worship. He said if you wasn't in there, he said if you were not in the building, and they were just demonstrating, it would be something different. He said, but because you were having religious worship and practicing your religious right, you can actually sue them, and you can actually have them prosecuted. So I listened. I'm trying to get brothers out of jail.
Okay, we got to deal with this, family. I like that. I like that. I like what Pastor Jennings is saying. He's going to go into detail about it. But he's saying that legally, because they were on his grounds during his worship service, that he would be able to prosecute them based on that. I'm not no lawyer or anything like that, family, so I'm not really sure. But I take his word for it, I guess, that he could have done that because they were disturbing his right to worship, which is in the Constitution. When you look at the amendments, right to religious practice, freedom of religion, and that kind of thing, I can see how something like that could hold weight in court. Now, let's keep listening.
And when I say I'm trying to get brothers out of jail, I'm talking about every race under the sun. I'm trying to get you out. I'm not trying to put you in. And I'm pretty sure they're watching today. But to the Hebrew Israelites, you supplied the law with evidence by you posting your own video. And the captain reached out to me based upon what you post. We were in service. And I know he's not making it up because he made a reference to whoever the gentleman was walking around the grounds with the camera. He said they really had a foul mouth. They were cussing. He asked me what.
And we got to deal with this, family. I have a lot of pastors and leaders that watch the channel. And I talk to a lot of them in the community that say, well, our problem with Israel is y'all are not polished. You're not intelligent. Now, I got to say this with a level of discretion because I know Esau's potentially watching. Our people have to be smarter, family. I agree with these leaders. If you go out there cussing, and I know I might get some flack because I got a lot of camp brothers. I got a lot of Israelite brothers from different walks that watch the channel. You can be right and say something a better way. You can have truth and say something right, but say it the wrong way, right? You're giving a crooked, wicked Edomite system ammunition to discredit you by saying, look at how they speak. They speak in hatred. They speak in violence. Now, Esau knows that what you're saying is historically right. Now, this is how cunning Satan is. But he'll throw the book at you and say, because you're not polished, and you see how hateful they sound, you see the manner in which they speak, they'll turn the moral compass against you, even though they know that the pendulum of justice and morality swings in your favor. you still have to exercise a certain level of discretionary wisdom, being led by the Ruach HaKodesh, the Spirit of the Most High Yah, and how you deal, right? You have to do everything that is within your power. Paul said, do everything you can to walk in peace with all people. If you can present the history without all that cussing, if you can, the scriptures don't need you to animate it. I'm just telling y'all. I know y'all know I'm hype, you know, your boy JB and that kind of thing. The word of the Most High don't need that. Understand, that book has been around way before I've been here. So if the truth of the scriptures is in the scriptures, just preach Deuteronomy 28:68. Just say, and his descendants will go into, you don't have to cut, you don't have to shuck, and you don't have to jive. And most certainly don't give them based on a negative presentation of the truth. Don't give them the ammunition that they can use to discredit you when they're already trying to do that from the beginning. Esau is smart, y'all. They want to find any red herring that they can to dismiss your message. And it's sad that a lot of our people are sheep. A lot of humanity are sheeple. And if they get on there and say, look at those cussing brothers, a lot of the masses of the people will be like, oh yeah, they cussing. We ain't even going to listen to them. Now, if they had said it a different way, you never know. That person might sit down and be like, oh man, the way he presented that history, the way they presented that prophecy, our people are fickle. I'm not saying that it's right? This is just the way human beings are. We are easily swayed. And when a person that already has power of the media, of the news, comes in and says, look at how a lot of them come out of prison, a lot of them do this, a lot of them do that. A lot of our people are messed up mentally and will side with Esau, even though that has nothing to do with whether or not what they're saying is right. Let me give y'all an example. If I get on there and say, the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? It could be right. White folks know what they done, right? But a lot of leaders in the community are saying, I can't support that. I can't invest in that because a lot of my resources come from that. I'm just presenting both sides, family. Now, y'all already know on my channel, we just say it, right? But I'm learning that there is a way to do things because some of our people are hesitant about getting involved. If you look at Pastor Jennings, and y'all are going to see it in the clip, he has men sitting on one side and women sitting on the other. Some of the women have their heads wrapped. Y'all watch this now. You got to look at a man's actions. When you look at Gino Jennings, not just that, but if you look at some of his lessons, he says that, yeah, we know Christ wasn't no European. He was a black man. So why is he saying he's distancing himself from the camps? Because of Esau that will use certain moral triggers to turn the masses against Israel and label them a hate group because of the presentation. And a lot of black leaders want to distance themselves from the smoke to protect their congregation. Now, this is just where we are, family. So y'all keep in mind that question that I had. Can we really make this thing happen, coming together? Because there's a lot of behind the scenes talking that our people got to do because there's so many moving variables. I hope y'all get what I'm saying. This is the perspective of a lot of black leaders. They are afraid to get involved with it. They are waiting on Israel to become more polished, present more evidence, go through the archaeology, the history in a way that can have a seat at the table with the other nations. I'm just giving y'all their perspective. That's what I'm doing on Zion Dynasty, uniting all different perspectives because we got to have this conversation, family. Now let's keep watching.
Do to them.
Now y'all look at all these sisters. Now that y'all pay attention closely. They sitting on one side just like the camps. So if you really look closely, a lot of our people believe more in what Israel is saying than what some of them are going to admit. That's the moral of the story. And we have to be all things to all men to be able to win them if it's possible. A lot of y'all might disagree, but it's about where your heart is. How bad do you want it? Sometimes love will have you do everything that you can to make it happen. Some of y'all say, oh no, you shucking and tapping and dancing and trying to win. Paul said, I became all things to reach all people. Paul was skilled in Torah. Paul kept the commandments, but he also was raised in Europe. He knew how to speak their language. So when you look at the divide within our people, we have to speak all things to all people if there is truth that can bind us together. Let me give y'all another example. When you look at Dan Calloway, a lot of y'all say, oh no, they ain't on that Native American stuff. These brothers, a lot of them that bash Dan Calloway, don't agree with the One West 12 Tribes chart. Do I subscribe with that in its totality? Y'all have heard me say no. But were there Moorish Negroes from Africa in the Americas before white folks got here? Absolutely. And if you can use that and bridge the camps that already know a lot of these natives, these Niji, a lot of these Nephi's descendants are actually Israelites, you can use that to bring your brother together. And that brother Dane has done a lot of scholarship that when you look at some of the stuff he's saying, you can't deny it. So the Most High has given pieces of the puzzle to all of us, and a wise master builder knows how to bring all components of the gumbo together in the crock pot of the love of the community. And that's what we got to get, Zion. That's the move. We have to bring our commonalities together and see what we have that piggybacks what this brother's saying in this group and bring it together. Now watch this.
I said I preach what's in the Bible. And so I said, I preach what's in the Bible. He said, well, I never got involved in religious discrepancies. I said, I preach that everyone should obey God, and I don't care what color you are.
Now, y'all watch how he's saying this. He's saying, I believe we should just worship God and do what's in the Bible, the word of the Most High. The bishop and them teaching the same thing. Now, you got to look closely to it. This brother, this elder, Apostle Pastor Gino Jennings, is not bashing what they're saying. He's looking at the methodology. And I'm not bashing the camp's methodology, because the scriptures make it so where you could go either way with it, because the prophets in the scripture just spoke the truth as it was. But we live in this end time system of Babylon where there is a lot of moving factors that's going on. Esau has a lot of wisdom in infiltrating and trying to sway public opinion. We just got to use wisdom. Now let's keep listening.
He said, well, several of us here at this precinct, we watch you. So we are very familiar with what you stand for. He said, at the same time, we are very familiar with the Hebrew Israelites also. And I said to him, I said, yes, any organization where everyone are people of color, the law always infiltrate that organization.
Now y'all watch this. Now I'm telling y'all, if we would sit down and talk to one another, we would see that we can come together, y'all. The Moors, the Nation of Islam, the Black Church, Hebrew Israelites, the native Aboriginal push, all of us, if you look at the history, are connected. But that takes a conversation. When you talk to him, listen to what he's saying, he knows the wisdom he's operating in while he's distancing himself. Let me break it down for y'all. Basically, Gino Jennings is saying, an all-black organization, Esau. So it's almost like he wants to say, I would get involved, but usually Esau is in that thing. Now, we already know he's going to sway public opinion to make them the bad guys. Now, that enough will make a lot of black leaders say, okay, that's going to be counterintuitive. If we're trying to get the resources to feed the community and we cut our hand off, I'm just giving y'all both perspectives. A lot of y'all, I'm not saying I agree with this, but I'm saying there's a lot of truth that both sides are bringing to the puzzle that we got to deal with. Because if y'all bash these pastors and leaders for taking that stance, then where's our black banks? I'm telling y'all, where's our black funding, our black Wall Street, where we have funds that if they jeopardize their livelihood to be able to provide for the community, because a lot of these black churches do outreach, they do community projects, they go into schools and they paint these schools, they provide free lunch and free breakfast for the community. You're jeopardizing the work and them living if you don't have another vacuum to fill what you're saying. Well, no, they making money off their 503c. What is it, 50c3? I should know this better than that. I'm an ordained. Y'all don't bash me. I'm just saying. Y'all making money off that, woo-woo-woo. But if you want them to sacrifice that, you have to then be the answer for that. That takes unity. That's why people got to behind the scenes be coming together like the early church Israelites did in Acts chapter 4, and they brought their resources together. We call it a susu today. They brought all of their money and they distributed it to different families as they had need. That's the type of system that's going to protect our people, where a black pastor can go out there and he can say whatever he wants because he know his people got his back. A lot of y'all, oh, you bashed Nick Cannon and all this stuff. Nick Cannon put his neck on the line, and when he did it, not one black person defended him defending y'all. Let me repeat that. Not one black person. Now, it might have been some people behind the scenes, but a lot of y'all that's bashing him, bashed him without protecting him for him trying to protect your history. Now, this is the dilemma we're in, family. Now, let's keep listening.
He got quiet when I said that. That's just a historical fact. Any organization, whether it's Muslim, so-called Christian, so-called Hebrew Israelite, so-called black activists, I don't care what organization it is, but if that organization is people of color, the government always infiltrated that organization. That's true. And like in the earlier days of the Truth of God, they thought we were a black organization, even though they saw white brothers and Hispanic brothers and Asian.
Now y'all read between the lines. He is dropping some nuggets, family. What Pastor Jennings is saying, if I put my neck out to sit down with y'all and agree with what you're saying, how do I not know that Esau has infiltrated that mud? And that's the kind of thing, family, where it's hard to, at some point, somebody lays down their life. Let's look at the scriptures. Let's go to the scriptures. That's our foundation. Yeshua knew very well that Judas was going to betray him. He also knew that his closest guy, his ride or die, Kepha in the Hebrew, Peter, that he would eventually use, still wasn't strong enough in the clutch. Let me give y'all an example for that blank check. For when the Roman authorities came, when Esau said, "Where is he?" He said, "I don't know the man." He knew that even his best, but Yeshua was willing to take the risk. Now, I know that's a big statement, and we talking about Yeshua here. This the man. This is the Most High in flesh, wrapped incarnate. Yeshua was willing to lay down his life. He knew Judas was going to do what he did. He prophesied it in advance and then told that nigga, he said, "Go do what you got to do." While he said, "One of y'all going to betray me at the Last Supper," he said, "Now go do what you got to do." Judas leaves the table. And while they all fight each other saying, "Who is it? Is it me? Is it me?" Judas goes out there and gets the Roman authorities. Yeshua's knowing the whole time. You know the amount of discipline and stick-to-itness and love that you have for your people, that you have to lay down your life for unity, even though they could stab you in the back? I'm telling y'all. So I'm not giving Pastor Jennings a pass to say that the way you get around the infiltrator is having sit down behind the scenes meetings. Now, can Esau go find out that, oh, they meeting at the church at this time? You got the Israelites, the Moors, the Nation of Islam, the black church, they all sitting down talking about how to build Zion. So of course he still might go get a knucklehead and go in there and do it. But is the work not worth it because of that? And that's only a question that these black pastors and leaders can answer, because you're bashing what the bishop and them saying, or sitting down with them because you're afraid that they might be just a pawn of Satan or Esau. But at the same time, what they're doing is trying to get the conversation had. Now, whether or not who's pulling the strings, it's about whether or not you love the idea of our people coming together to lay down your life to see it happen. Whether or not you could be risking everything. Only the Most High can give you that kind of spirit. And we're living in the last days where the Most High is turning our stony hearts into a heart of flesh, where people are saying, "I lay down my life to say this truth. I lay down my life to say it like it is, and to promote unity for our people, that we need to sit down and have the conversation." But that's a work in progress. But I'm not bashing the people that aren't there yet, because I see why they're saying what they're saying. There's a lot of fear that has been passed down spiritually, a Willie LYNCH syndrome, a slave Stockholm syndrome that has been passed down through our people. We call it the spirit of the coon, but it's not that. I'm not using that term, but that's what y'all can kind of understand. Our people that sell each other out. But it's deeper than that. It's they fear that they might not make it. That if we stand for y'all, who's going to protect us now? That's where faith in the Most High comes in. But you got to look at the natural at the same time, because the Most High knows our infirmities. He knows that they done tied Negroes to horses and ripped this joker's guts on the ground. I hate to say it graphic, but I need you to understand how fear could come into somebody to say, "I ain't finna do that," right? And the Most High doesn't utterly bash them for that. But this is just the state that we're in, family. Let's keep watching.
Because I am, in their eyes, a black, outspoken, and as they label me, militant minister. The FBI have sent men here. And what initiated it was...
Watch this now. I'm just gonna let him talk.
The caller who called the FBI on me because I preached against racism. And the caller got so upset, he called the FBI, and the FBI said, oh, we already know about him. We already have some of our men down there already. And some of them got...
Y'all, this stuff it gets deeper, family. It gets into do I sacrifice the potential that I could build behind the scenes to be out front and vocal? Or do I move in stealth behind the scenes and not be seen to protect me from potentially being terminated and terminating the good that I could accomplish? This is the battle between Mashiach ben Joseph and Messiah ben David, the suffering servant versus the conquering king. Do I go in like a bull in a china shop? Or do I go behind the scenes and be meeting with my people and trying to get bills passed and that kind of thing, right? This is what a lot of black pastors are thinking about. How do I accomplish the work and increase the longevity of me accomplishing the task without terminating myself prematurely? You got to look at Yeshua. If Yeshua had stayed on earth, he probably could have overthrown them Roman government in the natural. Yeshua had rebel rousers in the mountains. I ain't even brought up the chariots of the Most High. I'm just talking about in the natural. Yeshua had gunners. That's what Pilate was asking him. He said, are you the king of the Jews? He had heard of him. He said, man, if I wanted to, I could bring legions down. Now, why was Rome hesitant about that? Were they thinking about the chariots? They weren't thinking about that. Yeshua knew about that. Yeshua talking about them Sicarii. He talking about them zealots. He could have overthrown them Romans with the amount of support that he had garnered. He had infiltrators that are Judeans that were in Roman Senate positions. He could have done it, is what I'm saying, y'all. But he laid down his life, and you could say he died prematurely by being more out front, which he could have just played his cards and conquered the earth. I'm just giving y'all both perspectives. Some people argue that if you move behind the scenes, you can accomplish more in the greater good. But if you're out front, Esau has systems set up to choke out somebody that's too loud, too vocal. Somebody like me that just saying it like that, right? A lot of pastors and leaders talk to me and they say, son, if you would tone this down a little bit, if you would do this behind the scenes, do I listen to some of the wisdom of that? Yes, you got to be thinking about what they're saying, and you got to be thinking about how, if the Most High is using them, how to apply that, right? So this is the battle that we're in. Gino Jennings has encountered FBI surveillance going into his ministry, trying to spy him out. Now, let's say he says something to piss them off, and they go run and tell Massa or somebody, and Massa terminates this man's ministry. Then everything that he knows that is in line with what the bishop them saying, because I don't think he disagrees with what the Israelites are saying. I think he know we Israel, and I think he know that we need to keep the commandments. But just listening to him, he's saying, I'm gonna move behind the scenes. Now, does the Bible condemn that? Now, let me give y'all some examples. Queen Esther used her political position, y'all watch this, through marriage to secure the influence necessary to free her people. Moses was presented with both options. Now, y'all stay with me. Moses could have became the king, the Pharaoh. He could have became the prince of Egypt because he was already in line, because Pharaoh's daughter selected him out the water and groomed him. So Moses knew all the wisdom of the Egyptians. He knew all of that stuff. He was in line to become Pharaoh. He could have waited then and then freed the people. Yet he chose to sacrifice it and go ahead, and the Most High used him to do that. So the Most High has used either way. We see during the time of Ezra and Nehemiah, the scriptures say Nehemiah was the cupbearer for the doggone king, while Esther was trying to be the queen, while Ezra and them were the priest. They had people in different places, is what I'm telling y'all. Even the apostles, you had, I forget those sisters' name, Phoebe and them, that was in senate positions. Even Yeshua had people that was in high positions. He was friends with the priest. Even when you look at Nicodemus, right? So we see the Most High use a variety of tactics to free his people, using Gentile kings, using his people in high positions like Daniel. Daniel was elevated in Babylon. Now, was Daniel able to protect his people and turn the heart of the king of Babylon to turn the heart of the king of Media and Persia? Understand, they kept Daniel. When they changed kingdoms, Daniel stayed in his position. Why is that important? Is that something that played a role in King Cyrus allowing him to go back to the land because of how much respect they had for Daniel? Because the position that he had? I got to give y'all all the different points of view, because a lot of leaders I talk to and a lot of rebel rouser Israelites that I side with, I talk to them. I'm giving both perspectives of our community, because these are the things we need to think about when we're strategizing on how to build the 12 tribes. Now let's keep, I hope y'all, I know this is a lot, y'all, now let's keep listening.
And I remember this from the preaching of the gospel, came in my office and confessed to me who they were, because they went down in water in the name of Jesus Christ. They got convicted. So this is what I mean, how no human, when I say no human can beat God, I mean that. No human. What you plan for bad, God will reverse it and make it good for the church. So he asked me over and over, did I want to press charges? And he explained to me what grounds. I asked him a question. I said, tell me, sir, based upon the statistics of information that the law has, how many people of color fill the prisons of America? He said between 87 and 93%.
Yeah. Wow. Y'all let that sink in. What did he say, between 87 and 93%? Let me go back. I got to hear this again.
Fill the prisons of America. He said between 87 and 93%.
Yeah. Wow. Our people in bad shape, man. This is the kind of stuff we got to think about. Now, in this moment, Pastor Gino Jennings is allowed to be the protector of what Esau would have tried to set up to throw our folks in prison. Now, we know the Most High won't gonna let this stuff. We know the Most High opened the prison gates, because them brothers, our brothers, Iuic, were out there telling the truth of the Most High Yah. But there's a lot of different sides to this thing, and how the Most High uses a lot of different pieces to protect the message going out. A lot of what YESHUA was able to accomplish, he was funded behind the scenes by wealthier Israelites. We see even the place that he was buried was purchased by Joseph, I believe his name was, that had a wealthy possession. We also see when he went from different towns that they donated to his cause. We see a lot of that going on, family. So the Most High is using each and every one of us in different roles, is what I'm saying. I'm just speaking this so our people can have this in mind when we talk about unity. Because a lot of our people bash this person, bash this. That's what keeps us from being able to come together. Check this out. But if we came together behind the scenes and the black pastor said, this is what we going to do. And then our Moorish brother said, well, this is what we going to do. Now, we know who we are, but this is what we're going to do. And then those that are just our people on the streets, our foot soldiers, those that getting out there in the trenches, okay, we're going to do this. But behind the scenes, we're agreeing. But I shouldn't even be Esau. I know he might be watching this, but I got to say this message, y'all. I know a lot of what I'm saying, white folks fear us saying this kind of stuff. And me doing it on a public platform, I know they probably watching. But I got to say what the Most High is saying. Family, we got to be strategic. Because what's going on is judgment's coming on the nations, y'all. Y'all got to see. Check out that World War III video. We see the nations are falling, family. But we got to be in position. Because we don't know how the Most High is going to do this thing. You got to be unified in our minds as a community. So when it happens, our people are in position. That's all. I'm just dropping that out there, y'all. Because we're getting close. But we can't go into the kingdom thinking like individualites. We got to go into the kingdom thinking like family. Because the minute we master that, the minute we go home, the minute the Most High drops them, because we're ready, family. We got to be unified in our minds. Now, I would play the rest of it, but I think I showed you guys a lot of his perspective on it, right? I don't disagree, because I can kind of read between the lines. I've dealt with a lot of church leadership, pastors, bishops, and that kind of thing, so I can tell where his heart is. What he's really saying is our people have to be smarter than that, and we have to understand that white folks are always watching this stuff and trying to infiltrate this stuff. I don't think the reason he didn't sit down with the IUIC camp, with the bishop and them, is because he feared that he would lose a battle. I believe that he knew he would have to show that he agreed with what they're saying, because his heart is leaning toward it, but he can't do that. Because imagine Pastor Gino Jennings sit down and says, I agree with everything y'all saying. White folks, you just got to understand this thing. Now, how do you keep that from happening? White folks have showed us. You will have this Democratic white person arguing with this Republican white person, right? And after their shift, they'll go to the bar and have a drink and a good laugh together. White folks done showed us this thing, family. The Democrats act like they for us, then the Republicans act like they ain't. And we think that they just beefing against each other. And behind the scenes, they say, oh, we tricked them, right? Our people have to sit down behind the scenes. That has to happen, family. You cannot not do that. We have to sit down and say, we all on the same side. Now, when we go out here, we might play our different roles, but we know who we're with. So I hope y'all got something out of this. I just want to talk about unity. We know in Psalms 133, it says, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity. It's like the anointing oil that flows down Aaron's beard. We have to strive to do that, family. And I know a lot of us, not everybody's going to want to do that and feel led to do that. But this is the way we gotta think, family. The Most High's not operating with division no more. The Most High said, I ain't gonna bless no mess. I ain't gonna bless no chaos. I'm blessing my people coming together as one stick in my hand, and then I'm gonna accomplish the task and usher in the kingdom, because y'all have finally got it. Love and coming together under the heritage that the Most High y'all has given y'all, and then the Most High is gonna bring the kingdom. So I hope y'all got something out of this. I know this was just a think tank session. I'm just showing y'all different perspectives and how wise we have to be in these last days, because we're getting close, family. So I love you all. Peace, love, blessings, and Israelite power to the 12 tribes scattered. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Y'all be blessed. Shalom. All praises.